Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Irv Homer Show. It is Friday, March 27th. It is the last Friday of the month, and we welcome to the Irv Homer Show the one and only Valerie Morrison. Hello, Valerie.
Hello, Irv.
Hi.
I was hoping you'd be on tonight. Everyone was saying, I want to see Irv. I want to see Irv. I want to see Irv.
It's a pleasure. Well, tonight we're dedicating our program to an 8-year-old fan of mine and yours. And I received this at the radio station WBCB today when I was interviewing folks about epilepsy.
Oh.
And it's Epilepsy Awareness Month in November. But having been in contact with Dan and Susan today, we had Dan and Susan on the air. Susan is the head of the Eastern Pennsylvania chapter of epilepsy. And Dan is an uncontrolled epileptic, but he does work. He's 32 years old, a handsome guy, and Susan is a controlled epileptic. And it was amazing, Valerie, the response that we got on my program today from people who suspect that they do have epilepsy, but they don't know that they have it because, believe it or not, apparently it's difficult for doctors to diagnose epilepsy.
Well, the thing of it is, the epilepsy, there are several kinds of epilepsy, as you heard. And the one thing is that people that I've known that have been in business and suddenly they have a seizure. And they've never had a seizure before, and they may be in their 40s, 50s, 60s, it doesn't matter. And then they have another one, and the doctor is saying this is not a true form of epilepsy. And they give them some medication, and occasionally they have to be very careful. One of my friends is a roofer, and he, of course, cannot go up as much as he used to. And the thing of it is that it's caused a lot by stress also. People don't realize this. But epilepsy is caused, you can have it one time in your life, you can have it 3 times in your life. It's very, very common in a work situation.
3 million people have been diagnosed with epilepsy. It is a neurological disturbance, and unless a neuropsychologist understands, it's often misdiagnosed. But we're dedicating the program tonight to my girl, 8 years old, Emma, and she says, "Dear Irv, hi Emma. Dear Irv, my name is Emma. I'm 8 years old. I enjoy watching your show. Love, Emma." And so Emma, tonight's program is dedicated to you, and Valerie loves you too.
I do.
Valerie Morrison, ladies and gentlemen, is an internationally known psychic now, since her fantastic article that appeared in USA Today, and of course appearing on my contemporary and dear friend, sometimes Michael Smirkanish and I disagree, but we respect each other. And I had mentioned that I received email from Michael who says, "I love you dearly, but you're still a pain in my ass, Irving." And Michael, I love you dearly, and you are a big pain in my ass. But Valerie, tell us a little bit about your appearance on Michael's program before we go to the telephones. And if you want to ask Valerie Morrison a question, our telephone number is 215-253-8877 here in the studio, 215-253-8877. We have a chat room for you to get on board, and we'll take your questions for Valerie on the chat room. We also have emails that have been sent to Valerie and to me on questions, and we'll try to get to as many as possible. So I would suggest if you have a question for Valerie to go on the chat room as soon as possible, or get on the telephone at 215-253-8877 as soon as possible, so there won't be anybody hanging on the chat room or on the telephone. So what was your experience like with my dear friend Michael? And Michael, shave your beard, you look like hell.
When I was asked to go on the show, I had no qualms that I could do it, but once I got there, I was a little nervous. I heard it was nationwide.
So Michael's been syndicated. Good luck to you,
right,
Michael.
Right. So it had me a little bit nervous, but once meeting he and TC, she's wonderful. She's an absolutely wonderful girl that does all the calling for him and running around for him. And I was completely relaxed. I became me. I was relaxed. And he asked some very interesting questions. He said, "What do you want to be called? You want to be called a psychic? You want to be called..."
He referred to as a soothsayer, I believe.
Yes, he did. A seer, a soothsayer, or an intuitive, or what do you like? I said, well, the press gave me the name psychic, which actually biblically only means soul. So he said, well, I'll call you an intuitive. So I said that, well, we all have intuition, and it's true, we all do.
Mine's usually wrong.
Yeah.
I said that Fumo would never go to jail. Well, he's not in jail yet. No, he's not in jail yet, Valerie.
Well, you know he's going to jail.
Well, I'm still hoping that I got $1 bet.
Oh, you got $1 bet.
I'm a big sport.
Oh, I remember when Stu Bukowski and myself went down to try to find where the files were because he had such a low tax thing on his house. If you remember that.
Yeah.
And the only way we could find out any information that we did find out was I quickly said to the girl, your father's dead. When did he pass? And she said, just recently. So I started with my reading, which got us a little, not in the door, but a little fudging there, which went in the newspapers, But the one part that Stu didn't put in the newspaper, which I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, was really funny. He was yelling and screaming about never being able to get a parking area right there at the press conference area where they park. And I said, why don't you just be a little more positive and you'll have one? He said, oh, we'll never find one in this city. And out pulls a car. So he pulled in, he didn't say anything. And then he said, see, someone broke in my car and they stole my press pass that I have to put up. It's nowhere in here. He said, they're thieves. And I said, why don't you look in the middle section here? He said, it wouldn't be there. I never put it there. And he's looking everywhere else. And then I said, well, I think you should look in here. So he opened it up and said, I didn't put it there. That's Stu. You know Stu. He's a wonderful guy, and he always, every September 28th, asks me, before September 28th, before he puts my birthday in, what's your birthday? And I say, 16 on a good day, 9 on a bad one. So he'll see 4 C's, this. But he never has been able, in all the years I've known Stu, I like Stu a lot, that we've been able to really do that. I like to read his columns. But I believe with Michael, I was very happy with the show. I thought that he was very kind to me. And I know that he could be very belligerent if he wanted to be.
He was afraid I'd break his legs.
Ah, that's true. He said you my best to Homer, and that was good. I enjoyed it a lot. I really didn't think much either when I got the call from USA Today. They said they were sending a photographer over and et cetera, et cetera. She was wonderful. She lives in our area. And I guess what happened was that she must have taken 200 photographs. And I have to tell you one cute little story that she did. She said she was in the White House doing the Bush portraits. And she was leaning back to get the portrait. And suddenly she said she was tapped on the shoulder by a Secret Service agent. And she said, is something wrong? And he said, yes, you're leaning against an 800-year-old Ming vase. Could you be a little more careful? And she said she nearly fainted. Then she went to the airport and she was going to the Great Wall of China to photograph that. Understanding husband and 3 beautiful children. 2 beautiful children. And she said she got to the airport. Usually customs know her. This was a new person. So he saw her camera and he saw all the stuff. And one of those things have all the wires sticking out. So he yelled, evacuate the airport, evacuate the airport. So she said she grabbed her camera and caught the evacuations. And then someone came over and said, she's all right, but she got it all on camera. She's a neat lady.
Valerie Morrison, ladies and gentlemen, is in Philadelphia. Her office phone number to contact her is 215-483-8881, 215-483-8881. Valerie's website is valeriemorrison.com. That's valeriemorrison.com. And you can email Valerie Morrison at psychicvaleriemorrison, that's one word, at Comcast.net. So is there anything else you want to say or tell the audience before we go to the chat room?
Well, yes, I would. I would like to tell you that Fox News called me to do their Fox News morning broadcast, a business broadcast about the economy. And they had to, of course, change it. They changed it twice. They're coming in from New York to pick me up, take me to do it here in Philadelphia. And the reason was because of the Senate hearings. They were live. And I said, fine, that's okay. Just get in touch with me. And then the other thing is Channel 10 called. And they said the same thing.
These are Philadelphia stations.
Yes. They want me to do something, too. So people will be able to watch that because they'll be going to all the affiliates again. So it seems as though, Nationwide is coming in, and that's really nice. And I just want to see when Michael Savage is going to have me on his show and scream.
And Michael Savage will not have you on his show. But
Well,
then
I heard
again,
him say something. You never know. One night I was walking through the hall through his screaming, and I heard it. What stopped me was I said to Charles, "What are you listening to this man for?" And then I said, I heard this thing. I heard him say, "Well, I don't know what you believe, but I'm telling you something. The minute my father died, he appeared at the bottom of my bed, and my ears went up." And so, my dear friend from KYW News, the radio news, that I'm not going to give her name, right?
You mentioned the name.
No, she doesn't want, it's a girl, she doesn't want me to say her name. And it's Michelle Durham.
Yeah, well, don't mention her name.
Michelle Durham, hi out there, if you're watching, we love you with all our heart. But she does the weekend news, as you know, and do you know that she was just I told her when I first met her, you will be doing things you never dreamed you'd be doing. She just passed the astronaut test, the medical thing and everything. She may be one of the people that go up in the astronaut.
Michelle, I have a little personal note for you. You're nuts. Stay on the
Well,
earth.
you think that's something? One of her stories was the FBI. She went down to Quantico to do that, and she said, "Valerie, I thought I was going to die." They went 100 miles an hour backwards. So she's a bright little...
I drive that way all the time. What's so unique
yeah, no,
about
following you is amazing.
Someone just drove today in Philadelphia backward into a telephone company office. Valerie Morrison is our special guest. Valerie, let's go to the chat room first. Valerie, my twin grandson's godfather was killed in a car accident almost 10 years ago. Is he okay? And is he watching over his godsons? And this is from Fran in Orlando, Florida.
Hi, Orlando. I hope you have nice weather down there. I wanted to tell you that I was feeling when I peeked over at that, the initial J is in John or Joseph. I don't know if that means anything to you. Maybe you can retype and let us know if you do. But I do feel definitely they are around, and I feel that he is around you. And what I'm getting is some kind of a feeling of as though he were being suffocated in some way. But you have to understand, in the end, when people are getting ready to cross over, what you see is one thing, what they feel is another. We'll go into that on the show about battle angels sometime. I'd like to do a show for you on angels and different types of angels. But, he certainly fought, but he was not fighting the way you thought that he was. I feel that the pain was less than you thought it was. So write and let us know. But Jody, you don't have to worry. Jody, honey, you don't have to worry as much as you're worrying right now. He's right beside you. And I hope that the first big yellow monarch butterfly you see, it certainly belongs to him.
And let us go to the telephone for Valerie Morrison. Good evening. Welcome to the Reformer Show with Valerie Morrison. Your question, please.
Hi there.
Can you speak up?
Hi.
Good.
My son passed away. Hello?
Yes, honey, I'm here. Go ahead.
February. He passed away in February about a year ago in a car accident.
Right.
Turn your computer down.
And I'm just wondering if he is okay. And
now there is my thought about the angel thing and my feelings that have got deepened lately about this because I've had a few experiences. My feelings would be about your son that he was a battle angel. What age was he?
He was 31 and a half years old.
Close to my daughter. My daughter was killed also, and she was 32 in a car accident. My feelings with your son would be that I'm getting as though that something was hit, there was an impact.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know if this impact was a tree or a pole, but it looks like it's something there where there are like a curve in the road. Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, there was a curve in the road, and he did hit a tree.
I want him, he's here with me. He wants to tell you that he loves you very, very much. He also said something about his blue or green jacket, not to give it away or throw it away, whatever that means. Just hold on to it for a while. And he said that it's all right for you to mourn, that crying is good for the soul, because he can look at his other people that have passed away around you and say that, see how much she loved me. And he said to tell you that he's really, really sorry that this happened, but he knew at the time he was born that he was going to go. And I wonder if he ever told you, Mom, I'm not going to live a long time.
He told his fiancée that.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought, because see, usually a battle angel that comes here to touch other people know that they're going to be leaving. They just don't know the exact date. And you can bet that he was raised up by someone that was close to him. I see a woman, an elderly woman with gray hair and glasses, that had passed away, and she seemed to have been there to lift him up. And I hope that helps you, sweetheart.
Thank you very much. It does help me.
I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless, honey.
Our telephone number, 215-253-8877. This is from an email, Valerie, and this is from Virginia in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. My question is this: will I be accepted into nursing school? For Virginia of Cherry Hill.
Yes, Virginia. You know, remember that? Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus, right?
Well,
Yes,
he's in nursing
Virginia,
school now.
you will be in nursing school, and I would think that you would be starting. My feelings are, I'm not allowed to say think. Eric will always stop me from that. So I have to say I know that you will be accepted this year, you know, as we're going into that. And I hope that you think of something special you're going to do, because I don't believe it's going to be just the nursing. It will be nursing with a specialty to that. I do see children around you, and I also see machines like ultrasounds in some way. Perhaps you can let us know what that might mean, but you're going to be fine, sweetie.
Valerie Morrison as our special guest, ladies and gentlemen. We go to the chat room now, Valerie. It says, "Hi, Valerie. My husband passed away suddenly in 2005. Is he around me? Thanks, Jody in Pennsylvania."
Yes, Jody.
Why are we getting that noise, Ron?
Let me keep that. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Jody, I feel your husband is around you, but you know what I keep seeing? Something that I don't understand. It's a wallet, and the wallet looks as though it has never been emptied, and I don't know what that means. It's as though there's a wallet laying there. It looks like tan or brown, and it's never been emptied. And I just want you to know that perhaps you should look a little deeper into that wallet, because you may find something, I don't mean money or things like that, something that is of importance to you. I feel as though when he left quickly. That's true, but I see people around him trying to revive him or bring him back in some way. And I do know that whenever he passed suddenly, I don't feel it was in the bedroom. So I feel it was outside the bedroom. And I feel that he is with you. And sometimes you may feel just a little touch or chills on one side of your body. He's right there touching you. They never leave. They never leave unless you chase them away. And I don't feel you'll do that. God bless, Jody. I love you. I'm sorry for your loss.
Valerie Morrison's phone number at our office is 215-483-8881. And let's go to the telephone. And when you get on the telephone, please turn your computer down. Your question, and good evening. Welcome to the Irv Homer Show with Valerie Morrison.
Hello, Irv. Hello, Valerie.
Hello there.
Girl.
Hi, honey.
I loved being with you last week.
Oh, thank
I've been
you.
happy ever since.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I wear your necklace
I'm glad.
in my office.
It was my pleasure to give it to you.
Thank you so
Valerie,
much.
when do you see me receiving a check from my brother?
In May.
Wonderful.
Is that good?
That's fabulous.
Okay, as long as it makes you happy. I love you. Thank you so much for that message you left on my phone. It was so
Oh, you're
beautiful.
welcome.
Really
You're
beautiful.
welcome.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for the
God
information.
bless. Love you both.
Gail,
Love you.
thanks for the information you sent me. And let us go to email. Valerie, I have been a fan of yours ever since I saw you on TV a million years ago, giving Gina Davis a reading. You told her that her TV show would fail, but she would become a huge movie star, which of course she did. It stuck in my mind even as a kid, and I wanted to get a reading from you for 25 years now. I would love to set up a phone reading with you if possible. My life has been pure hell for the past 2 years. After being diagnosed with MS and disabled, and therefore homeless, as I could no longer afford my rent. A few friends let me stay in Florida and Pennsylvania temporarily, until just recently when my application for low-income housing was finally approved in New Mexico, which is where I am now. The point is, A, I truly need some guidance and I suppose hope. And B, I was wondering if you might consider giving me a sliding scale discount, as I am truly, truly poor right now, living only on a measly tiny disability check, too sick to work. Normally, I would be too embarrassed to ask, but I know that you tune into me. You'll see I'm telling you the truth on both counts. In any case, thank you for your time, and I wish you the best. And this is from Jeanette. What's wrong with that telephone line?
Jeanette, I want you...
Okay, well, just be quiet if you're on the phone, please.
Jeanette, I want you to understand that I don't give sliding scales, but you're here with Irv, and if you give me a call at 215-483-8881, we'll work something out here, okay? I'll be happy to do that, and I know that Irv would want me to do that. I don't do it for everyone, but I certainly would be willing to do this for you. Not because I pity you for being sick, because lots of people that come to me are sick. I don't want you ever to feel as though you're going to whine over a condition that happened to you. It's a terrible thing, MS, and I know that your sight is probably flashing on and off and not as good as it used to be, but I do know one thing. You're here for a purpose. And that purpose is going to be something I'm going to have to tell you. And that's why I want to talk to you. And you'll leave your phone number, please. And call me at 215-483-8881 so I can guide you into maybe a healthier way of looking at life.
And let me just add this, Valerie, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
I did a program once on Christmas Eve.
Hello?
Yeah, just a minute, please, sir. I did a program once for people to call around the world, a relative that they couldn't afford to make a long-distance call.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, I never told management what I was doing. They got like a $3,000 phone bill, and I thought Dolly Banks was going to have a canary, but she got the bill. However, one of the things that I discovered, and I'm not saying that this particular person is guilty of it, but I received one call, and it was from a woman who wanted to speak to her relative in Israel. And allegedly she was incapable of paying for the long distance call, and because it was Christmas Eve, I figured out rate. Well, we made the connection, the call went on, and they were allowed 3 minutes on the air. And she started talking, the reason I'm calling is because I'm going to Florida next week, and then I'm taking a cruise. I said, wait a minute, this program is for people who are poor, not for people that are going to take a cruise because they just want to talk to their relative in Israel or Argentina. So please, if you do have a financial problem, and I'm not saying that somebody would do it, but it was done to me, and so you'll have to speak to Valerie and let her make a determination. Do not think that it is done out of malice or that people don't trust, but people don't do things properly. To our telephone line, good evening, sir. Welcome to the Irv Homer Show.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes. What is your question? And turn your computer down, please.
Hold on. Can you turn it down?
Please turn your computer down when you're listening to the program. Okay.
All right. So I just had a question. I recently had a grandfather that died about a couple months ago, and I feel a strange presence in my house, and I think it might be him.
Why do I get the feeling is that you say you had a grandfather that died, yet I don't really get the closeness that should have been there. Was there a reason for that?
Well, we had a strange past together. I don't know him very well.
Okay.
The last couple of months, I got to know him a little better.
But it took time for you to get to know him as well as you did.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm getting here. I didn't get the...
Turn that off, Ron. Cut that call, please. Let's go to the chat room. And ladies and gentlemen, as a result of that type of call, I want you to do me a personal favor. Please support mental health. Hi, Valerie. When are we going to sell our house? It has been in the market for a long time. Thanks.
This is not the right time, sweetie, for you to sell your home. You should know that better than I should, and Irv would be the one that could answer that just as much, unless you can afford to lose about $75,000. If you want to lose $75,000, I'd say sell your house. And other than that, I would say at this particular point, I don't think the economy is going to be as bad as everyone else is thinking, because I'm the kind of a person that believes if somebody lights a match in a movie theater and everyone says fire, everyone panics and tramples everybody else. So if we just hold on, we're going to find that things will get better as we come along to the year, but we've got to be more positive about that. The sale of property would be better for anyone actually around the fall of the year, which would be September, October, November. So think of doing it then if you can hold on to it that long. I know you're having a rough time, but I feel you can. Now, someone who owned a restaurant had come to me the other night, a very nice person, and I had to say, he said, honestly, what do you see? And I said, I drove past the place and I saw vacancy. So that I have to be honest. That's what I saw. So I would say with you, I know you're struggling. If you can continue to keep this going, hold it till the fall. How do you feel about that?
The fact of the matter is, I was looking at property today and was speaking with the broker, and in this market, in the Bucks County market where I looked at this particular property today, the average time for selling property now that it's spring is 58 days, close to 60 days. And, that's in this market. So it depends, I think, where the property is, and it has a lot to do with it, and whether or not you have followed guidelines on what makes a house sell. For example, don't light candles to make your house smell good when people come into the house, because people become suspicious that there's a smell of mold or something in the house, or there may be a pet in the house, been in the house. So there are many things, and fortunately the gal that I do business with in real estate sends out a monthly thing on what to do to make your house presentable. Curb appeal, for example.
Right.
Don't mask it with, clean up things that have been bothering you, that never bother you, but just may bother a potential buyer. But it depends on where the property is located, what the market is, and to ignore what other houses in the area sell for. And with a positive vibe, and half the time, don't be there. Let the broker show the house.
The other thing is, isn't it true that years ago you used to always say, sell the house with some furniture in it?
Oh, yeah. A home with furniture in it is more acceptable than a house.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether you know, but there is a new real estate law that said if there's been a haunting in the house, that it has to be reported. Or if there's a murder that's been there or anything else, has to be reported, so you can say, oh, I'm not worried about that, or whatever.
And we were, Bill Sample and I were in Ocean City, New Jersey yesterday, speaking with the biggest real estate broker in Ocean City, a company by the name of Berger, happened to be a real nice guy. And I asked him, we were doing some business down there, and I asked him about the summer market down in Ocean City. He said, we are busy more so this year than last year.
That's true, because last year they weren't.
On rentals, and settlements are a little slow, but people want to buy, but for some reason or other, the lack of mortgage money takes a little bit longer. But apparently down in Ocean City, New Jersey, I'll tell you, and I'm not promoting it because I was there.
It's my favorite place.
We were there on business, and the market in Ocean City, New Jersey, is not being affected this year. So I would say think positive about selling your house.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I just had a client, and she's watching our show, and I just had a client that came to me about, are they going to be able to sell their shore home? And I said, I don't want you to sell your shore home just yet. And the only reason was because she has 3 young children who love it. She can afford to keep that up, and the home she has here. There's no reason to sell it if you don't have to. I asked her if she wanted to rent it out. She said no. So go down with the children, enjoy it, and if you can afford to do that. If you're doing it just because of the economical reasons that you're going to get the money from it, yes, Irv is right. I know people that own property at the shore, and they are either selling or buying right now, and it's a very good time for that.
And the other thing about this year, Valerie, and it was amazing, the sales in real estate, and the person who has this home for sale, fell not because of the economy. When there is snow in the wintertime, people will buy. This was a cold winter with no snow, which kind of screwed up the psyche in people's heads. They with that cold, we expected snow.
Right.
We didn't get any snow. When the spring break comes, I guess this broker must have either been a psychiatrist or a psychic or something, but he said the attitude of people when the weather gets warm or this cold spell breaks, say in April, May, beginning, within a week or so, the people's attitudes toward buying homes is going to change. So all of that may be in their favor. To the chat room we go. Hi, Valerie. Aries 4181. I'm looking to get a new job with the economy so bad, I don't know where to go. I was tempted to move to Texas to locate to a different job center. Any idea if and when I'll get a new job? Would a move be good or bad? 2 questions, Valerie.
Well, one thing I would say is the move would be great, and I feel that they're fed up with where they are right now. Obviously, looking for the job is not working in this area, not for everybody, but just for you. It's not what you want. I would feel the move to Texas is very good, but not if you're going for somebody just because it's family or someone you want to be close to as to a male or female. So I'm saying if you wanted to go to Texas, absolutely, Texas is very good, especially for taxes. So Texas and Vegas and places like that, that's certain places you know more than I do about their taxes, but you don't have the kind of taxes you're going to have. And living in New Jersey, if you give that an idea, forget that. My girlfriend bought a home in New Jersey, and within 1 year she was paying $9,000 in taxes, real estate taxes.
I can't figure that out.
I can't either.
They've got the casinos in Atlantic City all this time in the state of New Jersey, and their real estate taxes are crazy.
Well, I'm going to say what I say in Jersey. They have a crazy governor. And I said to him, I cannot believe that all these other people that were in politics came to visit in Vineland, our veterans home with us, and you didn't show up. I said, and what about that seatbelt law? You're pushing this, you're pushing that, you're pushing everything else. I was terrible. I said, where was the flask on the seat? Where was that lady blonde? And my husband called me to say, do you want a ticket on your way home?
When Corzine, the governor, was
yeah.
in an accident,
And
they 90 miles an hour without a seatbelt.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you, Governor Corzine.
Yeah, thank you, Governor, for raising all those taxes and giving us all the faith in you that you said you'd give us.
To our email for Valerie Morrison, Psychic Extraordinaire, whose office number in Philadelphia is 215-483-8881. Valerie, Dorothy in Chaffon.
Okay.
Can you give her, Valerie, an insight on her current relationship?
Okay, Dorothy, the one thing that I'm feeling about the current relationship is that maybe you're giving a little bit too much. One thing about we women is you got to learn one thing. There's such a thing called Women Who Love Too Much. Great book. And Men Who Do Not Know How to Love is another great book. And being in psychology, I love reading these books. And the one that they did, which is He's Just Not Into You, has been made into a movie. My feelings would be you give too much. Let it be he needs a sandwich, or he needs this, or he needs that, or he needs something else. I'm surprised you don't have it ready before he even walks in the door. I believe that any relationship you have right now with this man has to be tested. You have to see what he is really like under the skin. That means that just because you go to bed together, if you have, that he's the perfect guy for you. Sex is not love. It includes a lot. It's 85%, but it doesn't have to be the answer to a young lady like you. And Libras, I'm a Libra myself, we are very strong-willed women. And I think that you have to become a little more grown up in your life. So be slow on this one.
Okay, Dorothy and Chalfont, we have the same question up on our chat room, Valerie. Hi, Valerie. Will my love life bloom this year to a man I met recently, also a Libra?
That's wonderful to hear because there is such a difference, and I'm not an astrologer, I always say that.
Yeah.
But I know that being a Libra and having a husband who's a Libra, hi Charles,
Hi, Charles.
We're totally different people, totally different. I am a very strong-willed woman, and I've learned to be that way from the time I was a child, to be a strong woman. And Libra men are very manipulative if you're not careful. So you see one thing and then they turn into this other thing. So when the scales tip, you're saying to yourself, who is this person today I'm going to live with? And it doesn't go so much for the woman. But my feelings would be not at this time. So don't rush it because I don't want you hurt again. You've been through it before.
All right, do we have someone on the line?
No, because they wouldn't lower their computer.
Okay, if you call at 215-253-8877, you can be heard through our system here. Please turn your computer off or we will kill your call. Okay? Let's go to, that was on the chat room, let's go to an email. Valerie, congratulations on all your success. Thank you for receiving my email. I hope you'll be able to answer it on tonight's show. Oh boy, this is a tough one. It seems because other areas of my life aren't doing good, my marriage is suffering. We have the catch-22 thing going. Our finances aren't the best. We're frustrated. We argue. Do you see things getting any brighter in the future? Will there be more bumpy roads ahead and for how long? Anything you can say about my marriage and love life would be appreciated. I know we love each other. I don't know if that is enough or whether it will be enough. This is from Carol.
Carol, I love you with all my heart, but I have to be very honest and tell you, stop picking. You know, you're always picking. You always have something to say. I think my manager put it well. I don't know the words he uses, but he says, all right, Valerie, is that the comeback? You know, you always have something to say after they say something, and you seem to be doing the same thing. He's tired. He's worried. He's probably more worried than you because what's the thing a man goes through? He's supposed to protect the woman in his life. He's supposed to get the job, make the money, come home, pay the bills. Even if you're working, it's still time for you to be more aware of the fact what you just said to me is that you love him and he loves you. And it's got to be enough because you're asking me, is this going to be enough? Okay, that gives me the great big red question mark right there. You make it enough. And if he's too tired for sex and intimacy in any way, give the guy a break. He may not be into it because he's so worried about everything else. This is a great marriage, and if you break it, then it's your fault, Carol. Okay, God bless.
And to the telephone we go, and you're on the Irv Homer Show with Valerie Morrison. And what is your question, please? Hello?
Hello? Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I recently had my mother, she, passed away. It's kind of like that other guy, he revealed into the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother, she recently passed away.
Right, I heard you, honey.
It's not that, it's not like her presence is in my house. I feel like she's, in me. I can still see her inside me.
Do you feel as though with your mother that you were not as close also?
Yeah, kind of like that.
And you're feeling...
It's like I can feel her footsteps and, what she used to do.
Well, don't you understand what she's trying to say to you, sweetheart? What she's trying to say is, I love you, and I understand you, and I forgive you for the times that you were just a smart kid, being fresh. And that I wish you would have been with me more, and you chose not to be because you were so into your own self at that point, which is fine. But the thing is now, she understands all that, so that's bypassed her. The main thing is that all she wants now is for your happiness to be close to you. Hearing her is a beautiful thing. I wish I could hear my daughter more. So I think it's a great thing that you have that, which is her saying to you, don't worry, son, I'm going to take care of you. The other thing that comes in around you, and I don't know what this means, is the name Christopher or Chris. I don't know if it's a woman or a guy. Does that mean anything?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is someone named Christopher or Chris?
It's not Christopher. I'm trying to think.
That's all right.
One of her boyfriends, but it starts with a C.
Okay. So I just keep feeling as though your mother is saying, take stock of this person. Take stock of this person and be sure you know what you're doing. Because you're too good. You are very, very good. And you have to stop being so giving.
Okay, my friend, thank you so much for calling.
God bless.
Actually, the truth is that I lied, so yeah.
What are you saying?
He lied.
Now, if this continues, we're going to stop the telephone calls altogether. So you can play games, and for those folks who want to get through on the telephone, we apologize for the ignorance of some of the folks who watch the show, but I don't tolerate any nonsense.
I know exactly who it is. I know exactly who it is.
We'll just kill the phone calls altogether. Let's go to the chat room.
You don't, wait, let me say something.
Right.
You don't play those kind of games, and I'll tell you why you don't play them.
They come back.
Because when you play the games, you could lose your mother or somebody very close to you.
You could
So
lose
don't,
You lose your teeth if I found who you are.
And the thing of it is that I believe in karma. You get back what you give out. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly that you're closer to Irv than he knows that you are, which I will explain to him later. And, you're just not going to get the luck that you think just because you feel I'm international and you're not. Well, guess what? I would not be against you. I don't know why you're doing such a thing. But I don't care. It doesn't bother me, sweetheart.
As long as you don't get my wallet, pal.
Well, any calls that come in with an unknown number don't get through.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Good
To
idea.
the chat. Well, let's go to the web, to the email. This is from Darlene in Chalfont. Hi, Val. You are great. Have been right on with so many things in my life over the years. I'm honored to know you.
Oh.
Will my daughter get a divorce? Will she be getting a divorce? Your website pictures are beautiful, and hope Charles is doing well. So this is about the Darlene's daughter. Is she going to get a divorce, Valerie?
Hi there to Charles, and I know you're doing well in watching us right now in the extra room. And yes, he is doing much better. Thank you very much. And as far as anything on the computer, I have to thank my manager, which is Frank D'Angelo, who does a great job and is helped by our television, our personality here who does computers. And I want to thank him also. Your daughter will be getting a divorce, that's true, but she has to learn how to accept the fact that the person that she's with is not who she thought that he was. But that will come in. And thank you, darling, for the wonderful things that you said about me. It really bypasses all the negatives, doesn't it? Thank you.
And once again, let me remind you that Valerie Morrison's office number is 215-483-8881. Her website is valeriemorrison.com. You can email Valerie at psychicvaleriemorrison@comcast.net. And to the chat room, Valerie, well, we'll take the phone call. Okay, you're on the Irv Homer Show with Valerie Morrison, and please give your first name and turn your computer down.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Valerie, it's Michelle. Misha, how you doing?
Hey, how are you, sweetheart?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Good,
So
good.
to see you on.
Thank you.
Hiya.
There's Irv. Say hi to Irv.
Yes, hi, Irv. How are you?
I'm the one with the cute hair.
Yes. I was just wondering, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
If, what you see happening with me, with, like the steps I'm taking career-wise.
I feel it's a very good step career-wise. I really feel that this is a good time for it to happen, that it's very good for you, and even though it's a big, big change for you, it's okay for you to do it, Michelle.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you. Love you.
Good luck, Michelle.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
God bless.
This question disturbs me a little bit,
Why?
Valerie, on the chat room. There's a lot of negative vibrations. There was a movie, I think it was called Kelly's Heroes.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Donald Sutherland was a tank driver. And he kept saying, even though they were engaged in vibrations, I keep getting these negative vibrations all the time.
Right, exactly.
He said, there's a lot of negative vibrations. And I run into that a lot. People have these negative vibrations. And I'll just relate this briefly on the air. Allegedly, it may not be myth, it may not be true, I don't know. But it's been related on the air a lot of times on various radio stations where a monarch called in his learned people in his empire, and he said, I want you to come up with 5 words that can apply to everyone in the entire world, my entire kingdom, regardless of what. These 5 words will apply to everybody. Color, race, creed, origin, religion, makes no difference. And these learned guys sat and figured and finally they came into the monarch about a month later and they said, we've come up with the 5 words.
What were the 5 words?
This too shall pass away.
Oh, that's
And these
true.
negative vibrations will pass away. Even the positive things that you're going to have in life will pass away and go into negative. So just a little word to the audience. Whatever your situation is, this too will pass away.
remember there was a
And
very
you're pretty
yeah. There's a very
spiritual. I'm not finished yet. Why do you keep? Is it
Yenta,
amazing?
yenta, okay.
Is it amazing? It's our Jewish heritage. But it is something that you've always told people about. That
I have.
You've gone through many tragedies in your life,
Yes.
and have lived with the theory that this too shall pass away.
I know that that's true, and my feelings are that actually it's a biblical thing. This too shall pass away, and there's so much that we don't know that is telling us why the negativity is we were talking about. And when I was on when I did this story on USA Today, I said people with measles get worse before they get better. Now that means, of course, to me, the economy, because they were asking about that at that particular point. But and this is why if we're all positive, honestly, if I have somebody in my house, and I don't mean a client, but if I have someone in my house that a friend stops over, a neighbor stops over and gets very frightened about things, and oh, what's going to happen here? Oh, I have this terrible feeling, and I say, you know what? If you're going to carry that terrible feeling with you, that's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, you can't just run around saying, I have lung cancer, don't I? I have lung cancer, don't I? When you don't. Because the answer is keep saying it and it will appear. I mean, it's like, I remember once a doctor taught me, Dr. Zigerman, you remember him. He said, if you're going to rub your arm here every day and say, Herb, do you see that red spot?
Mm-hmm.
And you say, no. And I said, yeah, there's a red spot. And you say, no. And then pretty soon I say, do you see it? And you finally do. Because there is a red spot, and I've been rubbing it. So the thing of it is that if all of us can just be positive, we shall get past this, as you're saying. And we shall get past many of the negative people, such as the caller that called in, too. That doesn't bother me because I have so much love that goes out and so much love that comes in that I'm so protected. And I have my own angels, just like you do. And we'll go into that sometime.
I've had two experiences. One was with our dear friend Mike Morado many years ago.
Right.
You were attending him at Roxborough Hospital.
Right.
Was it? Now, Michael had been, well, about 6 more weeks in him.
Mm-hmm.
And as Michael was going in for surgery, he said, what did he say to you? Do the best you can.
Yeah, do the best you
That
can.
was, right. And when I went in for open heart surgery, he had a quadruple bypass. And the doctor, I said, Doc, he said, now, I said, look, Doc, the big problem is your problem, not mine. I can either live or die. If I die, it's all over. I won't be in any pain. If I die, you're going to have to explain to the people that you were the doctor that operated on Irv Homer. How's that going to look on the front page of the newspapers? He says, thanks for giving me all the confidence you want to. So going through bypass, I said, oh, this guy, you need this surgery. I went under. I said, look, if I die, I'm going to die. Big deal. You know, if worry was going to be the answer to the world's problems, there wouldn't be any problems. So people worry unnecessarily and have these negative vibrations unnecessarily. And we go to our next question on the chat room,
right,
which is
wait.
full
Before
of
we get
negative
there, I
vibrations.
have to tell you something. The thing is that someday, on any show that you want to, or personally, I like to do on a show, I have a secret to tell you about that hospitalization when you were there, and it was something that Fran did. And the only way that I could get there or do that in my sleep was I had a doctor that helped me. He had to bring me out of it at 11 o'clock or I wouldn't have come out of it, was to be with you. And it had to do with a yellow rose hanging.
No wonder the bed was crowded when I was being operated on. Was
know?
that you?
Do you remember anything about any bad medication that was given to you and you hearing a nurse say, oh, well, we're going out to the party tonight, it'll be all right, and you were throwing up a lot?
That's when I pulled the thing. And
Exactly.
coming in.
Well, guess who was beside you invisibly? It's called projection, astral projection.
Yeah.
I was the girl that was there helping you live and get through.
Thank you for saving
You're
me, Valerie.
welcome.
I knew I had you as a friend.
Yes, you did.
To the chat room with another negative vibration. Now, Chris, we want you to pay attention. Hi, Valerie. I was wondering what you see for my career path. I am recently finishing a graduate degree, but I don't have much hope of getting a job in that field. Do you see me getting a job in this field or in another field? And also, I wondered about my love life. Do you see something serious? 2 questions from Chris, Valerie.
All right, Chris, the one thing I'm going to say is the love life will be serious as you get into the July, August time of the year. The other thing about the job situation, I just don't feel that's true that you are happy, and I hope you're not doing anything in the computer field because that's not for you, but I'll tell you what is, whether you would believe it or not, and I should know I've had several years of it, but I think you should take psychology. Now, mine was abnormal psychology, so I think you would do very well in taking psychology and being a battle angel and helping those who cannot help themselves. So give it some consideration, and if you need, give me a call for a session in my office at 215-483-8881. I'm very interested in you.
This is a serious one here, Valerie, and you're going to have to be very, it's from Lake Ozark, Missouri.
All right.
And so, Julia, we're going to try our best. Valerie, thank you for attempting to answer my question. My husband has severe mental issues. As a family, we applied for and got the conservator, but we are still waiting for the judge's verdict on guardianship. My question is, should I leave things as they are, regardless of guardianship response, or should I go for a legal separation to protect myself? I am receiving monies from the estate. My daughter is conservator. This has been a very confusing and emotional drain on my family and myself, as we've been trying to settle this since last August. I'm not even sure where I will be living at this time. So many personal issues to deal with. Thank you so much, Julia from Lake Ozark, Missouri.
Thank you so much, Julia. It was a good question for someone who took that kind of psychology. And what I want to add is my intuitive ability, my psychic ability to this, is saying that I hope that your husband is getting treatment, and I hope that he's in the proper place for his treatment, because I feel that sometimes he can be a very dangerous type of a personality. And I mean dangerous not in shooting you or anything like that, but dangerous in the way he reacts to pulling you down and everyone else around him. My feelings would be that at this particular point, this is the one where you get a lawyer and you get an attorney just as soon as you possibly can, because my feelings would be, I don't want you to hear me say, leave your husband, because it may be the best thing for you to do to protect everything around you. At the same point, you don't want to alienate your family and other people. So I would suggest, honey, I know things are financially really hard for you. See an attorney, one that the court will appoint for you, not one you have to pay for yourself.
And to the chat room we go again. Emma wants to know about Vince, a friend of the family who passed in 2007. Thank you, and thanks for her dedication.
Well, that's beautiful. I just want to tell you that the friend should not have passed at the time that they did. It seems to me as though it was a time of a lot of pressure on this person, and also the feeling that they just couldn't handle life anymore. So I don't know exactly what happened in that situation, except to say that I know that they're fine, and they're in a place that's light, and they aren't in any dark place, or they are not in where shadow people are in the gray area of heaven. They're fine, and I know that Vince is a very good person and has helped you a lot. You must miss him dreadfully. So the best thing you can do is pray. Pray for him. And I have a mantra, and I think we mentioned that before. My mantra is simply every day, and maybe 10 times a day, if it helps all of you out there, is pray. And you don't have to say a prayer. You just did when you said that. Pray, ask, believe, and receive. And sometimes you're very intuitive yourself. You must know he's with you. God bless.
Valerie Morrison, once again, can be reached in her office at 215-483-8881. Valerie's website, ValerieMorrison.com. And you can email Valerie for her next appearance on the Irv Homer Show. Psychic Valerie Morrison, one word, at Comcast.net. And be aware of the fact that Valerie Morrison has been invited back again to my dear friend Michael Smirkanish of WPHD in Philadelphia. I'm sure Michael will make you aware of her appearance, and also it will be on Valerie's website when he will ask her to appear again. So let us go to the chat room, Valerie, and it says, "Hi, Valerie. I hope you can help me. My son wants to move an hour away, and my daughter keeps trying to get into nursing school, and something always happens. She is trying for September. Do you see her getting in, or is she trying for the wrong field? Both of my children are in their 30s. Kathy of Philadelphia. We usually take just one question, but we managed to break our own rules tonight. So there are two questions here, Valerie, and you can answer one, the other, or both.
I'll do both really fast.
Okay.
I think you're really upset over the fact that your son wants to move an hour away, but I feel that it's the best thing for him at this particular point. An hour is nothing. It's not like my son is 5-6 hours away from me. It's a hard thing, but I feel it's a good thing for him. As far as your daughter trying to get into nursing school, I just have this funny feeling that when someone keeps trying something over and over again, that's God stopping you. He's saying, for some reason, you're not going to like this field, you're not going to do well in this field, it's not for you. I would tell her it is the wrong field, and I feel that she should do something with computers or legal, maybe become a paralegal. So I hope you'll let us know again how correct we are.
Okay, this is from Misha, Valerie, and it says, "Hi, Valerie, it's Misha. You are great, love you." Hi, Misha, and Valerie loves you in return, may I add.
Misha is a psychic.
Well, hi, Misha.
And she does tarot card readings, and she's a very good friend of mine, and she picks up negativity. And I have to tell you that the other day she called me up, and only you knew this, and now everyone will know it, but it's okay. Misha said, "I can't stop thinking about you on my message, and for some reason I keep hearing Helly, and I don't know what it means." Well, there's no way she could know. You remember only I did that personally. I called my daughter Helly, so I wrote back to Misha, and I hope you got that message, Misha. So God bless and good luck in your work. I know you wanted me to appear on your internet show, but I'm really jammed, and I only am doing...
Well, Misha, you can come on the Reformer Show with Valerie Morrison. I'll just sit in the chair and watch things. So, Valerie, if you want to have Misha with you, it's perfectly all right. This is a critical message that we received today, Valerie, from Debbie.
Okay.
Me and my sister are trying to get a lawyer for Monday to go to a formal caveat and put a hold on a formal caveat to stop a will from being probated, and need one in Philadelphia by 4 o'clock Monday. Not to retain them, but to go to the formal caveat and stop the will from probate, because there's a lot of wrongdoing by my aunt's cousin, who forced my aunt, we think by coercion, to change her will and make her receive everything. What are our chances? We are all out of options, but we should try to intimidate her at the formal caveat on Monday at 4 o'clock. Thanks, Debbie. Well, I can tell you you're not going to get a lawyer not to retain them, so that may be out of the question. But are there any options that you see for Debbie for Monday, Valerie?
Absolutely. I do not feel that this is going to turn out quite the way she wants it to, and it's going to drag on for months and months and months. So I just feel retaining an attorney is a very smart thing to do right now. My answer is that it's still going to be a fight for a while. And I don't know how you're going to prove some of the things that are being said without waiting until you get through May to do that.
All right, let us go to the chat room. Hello, do you see us moving to California from Tennessee? We are trying to move for 2 years. Thanks, Sherry.
Well, I think that leaving Tennessee, and thank you for getting in touch with us from there, and moving to California certainly is something that you'll do before December. So it does come in this year.
There is quite a change between California and Tennessee.
Yeah.
And this will be our last email for tonight, Valerie. Hi, Valerie. Hope you are doing well. My name is Sharis, and I have one question. When are we going to sell our house? It has been on the market for a long time. When you ask the question like this, please tell us how long the house has been on the market for Valerie. I will listen to the Irv Homer Show tonight. Thank you in advance for answering my question.
Well, my feelings would be, number one, if you're willing to, again, take a hit, a lower amount, not really that much lower. I would say something like $10,000 to $15,000 if you can go down that low. I know that you seem to have a high rate of a mortgage on there, and I would rather see you fight and get the interest rate down for a little while now, and then you can do that. You know, people are doing that, the banks are doing that now, rather than you know, getting rid of the house right now. But my feelings would be that this house is not going to sell until around August, September. So, you know, and that's putting a double expense on you. I realize that, sweetie, and I just pray that I'm wrong. Hey, I'm not 100% right.
Well, one of the things about selling houses today or real estate, and as I said, I was involved yesterday in Ocean City, New Jersey, and also today in real estate. Don't pay any attention when somebody says it can't be done, because there is a thing known as creative financing that is perfectly legal. There are all type of areas. You can take back half the mortgage. You can accept half the mortgage. You can tell the guy, let's say you want to buy a home for $300,000, you're approved for $150,000. That's the most you can get for a mortgage. The owner can take back the other $150,000. So there are many ways in the market today where people feel negative that they can't sell their home. But with creative financing, it can be done. It can be done legal, and it can be done to protect both the seller and the buyer. It's a matter of the knowledge of the broker. It's a knowledge of the finance people. Most bankers do not know finance, believe it or not.
I believe
Bankers don't know finance, and real estate brokers don't know financing. They've been taught a certain way, and they go from line A to line B to line C. And many of the time I've said, well, do it this way. Well, I've never done it. I said, I don't care whether you've ever done it that way or not. This is the way I want it done. Another word of advice, Valerie, and I think you'll agree with me or not. If I'm wrong, tell me so. I have no problem in constructive criticism. I gave what I very seldom do as financial advice to a friend yesterday. Not a friend, a gentleman that I met by accident at a place that Shirley and I were at, and asked me about investments, and he had an investment to make, and this was the deal that they offered. I told him, I said, look, you have X number of dollars. They want it. Don't care about what they say they're going to give you. You tell them what you want. If I have $50,000 to invest, or $100,000, don't tell me what you've got. This is what I want. This is how much money I want each month. This is how much I want tax deferred. This is a long-range plan. What have you got? Alter your investment for me, not for you. Now, a lot of people fall victim. They walk in, they got the money, and they're worried about the investment guy. What he's going to do? Who the hell cares with you? You want my money? This is what I want from you. And I think that's part of the negative vibration.
I do.
People feel intimidated when they go there.
You know, and the other thing that I feel people should know out there, if you have gold and you're saving your gold, and you keep thinking it's going to go up, up, up. Years ago, if you remember, I predicted gold would be $800. And I said, hold it. Well, all right, it's past that, I believe now.
Yeah, it goes between 9
But
and
my
50.
feelings are, sell your gold now, because soon, when everything changes, and it will, you're not going to sell it for that amount of money. You're going to say, why didn't I sell it then? Silver is up, gold is up, and as you said once to me, cash is God. You know, get that cash and put it away in a safe or somewhere where you feel that it's secure without telling one person about it. Because I have a friend of mine that gave another friend of hers her, what is it, the safe number combination, is that what they call it? A combination where she had cash and $15,000 was missing. So you don't tell anyone unless you leave it with an attorney and a will or something like that for them to go into.
And make sure his last name is not made up.
Yeah.
I'm Irv Homer. This has been, yes.
She says she will get back to you soon.
Oh,
Or is it
good.
Great.
Oh, good.
Okay, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning into the Irv Homer Show with Valerie Morrison, who will make her next appearance on the last Friday of the month. That is, if she doesn't become a real big star, and she'll be on the Maury Public Show, and she'll be on Good Morning America. You know what? You're going to get on The View.
I would love to be on The View because I'm crazy
you
about that
gotta
girl,
get-
but I think she left.
You got to get a who? That's
The
what
one that did How to
she's
Be a
a-
Millionaire. I love her.
Oh, Valerie?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
well,
yes.
She's doing it. But we got to get Valerie Morrison on The View.
I would love
We
to
gotta-
do
we-
this.
or the-
Well, Hasselbeck is
celebration.
pregnant, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's pregnant, so she's going to have to. She just doesn't know when to stop.
I do.
Well, she's a good-looking girl. Anyway, you can
Yeah.
contact Valerie Morrison once again at her office at 215-483-8881. Our website for Valerie Morrison is ValerieMorrison.com. You can email Valerie at psychicvaleriemorrison@comcast.net. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend and get rid of those negative vibrations. Valerie throws out love and the love comes back to her. Try it. It wouldn't hurt.
God bless.